Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot in a red state, utilizing Tarot to offer insight into these very interesting times that we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. The focus of today's reading is going to be this fight that looks like it might be happening between the federal government and the blue states. Pam Bondi has threatened to pull blue state funding, while the blue states, I don't know how much they're talking about this, but there's this kind of idea floating around about soft succession. And what that means is that they don't secede, I have to think about that word, secede, like in its entirety. They just stop paying the money into the federal government. And so I understand that that will hurt red states. I live in a red state. I'm very aware of that. And I do not blame the blue states in one bit, not at all. So what I want to look at is, I'm going to do I want to do a base reading into just like, what does this look like with funding? And then I definitely want to look specifically into Pam Bondi. And I kind of roll my eyes because, like, do I really want to know about Pam Bondi? I really don't. But I do want to know about the funding. So I'm going to look at that, and then I want to look at it from the blue states point of view. Okay. And also the deck I'm going to be using today, I pulled out my Nigel Jackson deck. You will not see this deck very often because I can't get another copy of it. And, I mean, I can, but it's stupid expensive. So I have to use it sparingly. It's an out-of-print deck, but it's just so pretty. And also, if you're wondering, yes, I cut all of the edges off because I I don't like the edges, and so I did this years ago. But I cut all the edges off. So anyway, I want to just do a base reading looking into this whole what might be a fight over federal funding. With Bondi threatening to pull the funding, and then you've got blue states who, are they going to retaliate and just say, well, you can't pull our funding, we're just not going to give you any money, that kind of thing. Just base reading into that whole thing. What's that looking like? Okay, I just want to see here. Yep. The Queen of Cups. Okay. For entertainment purposes only, base reading. And we get the Empress card. Where is the money going to be best used? That's the first thing that I thought of when I saw this card of where is it that we can do the most good with the money that we have? Okay. And the reason I say in this deck, there's so much green. And so green is money. It's also, like fertility. Where is it that we can best use the money for the best results? Okay. The challenge is the Lover's card. The challenge is going to be, with the Lover's card in this reading, what I'm feeling is like the agreements between the states and the federal government. That's the challenge. That the federal government they're not living up to their end of the bargain. So that's the challenge. What's coming in is the Knight of Pentacles. This is this actually is coming up in the options. What options do you have? And the options, once again, is how are we going to use our money? In the Robin Wood deck, I have to think, I'm pretty sure it's the Robin Wood deck. The Knight of Pentacles actually shows a field that's just been plowed. So it's like, where are you going to, and it's like this field is ready for planting. So where is it that you're going to use your money that's going to be for the greater good? And the foundation energy for this is the Fool. Let me look at this. Yeah, the Fool card. I had to make sure. At first I thought it was the Devil, and I was like, wait a minute, because remember I cut off all the words there. So the Fool card. New beginnings, new way of doing things, new way of looking at a situation. And that is the foundation here. So new way of going forward is kind of what's growing out of this right here. The base energy here. The recent influence is the patience card. And I'm feeling like the blue states have about had it. Okay. The blue states are like, we are not doing this anymore. Okay. Let me kind of look at this. We got the cup, red and white, the river, standing on solid ground. Yeah, I really just, fertility, with the creek here, the water. Yeah, I just really see this as recent influence. It's just, again, more about what is going to be the best use of our money. And then the outcome is a fork in the road. What are we going to do? And this is 7. So, and here, there's the fork in the road. What are we going to do? Choices and decisions have to be made. I'm getting the feeling like this is a game of chicken right now. Who's going to blink first? That's what I'm feeling with all of this. Because you've got, here is the agreements that we usually have with our country, how do we use our money, and the agreements with the government. The blue states are looking at, what's the best use of our money? And is it going to be paying for our cities to be militarized? And fork in the road. And how are we going to do this? So with this fork in the road, who's going to blink first? The blue states or the federal government? Who's going to blink first? If anyone. Is anyone going to blink first? These are kind of sticking together here. Okay. We have to wait and see. Right now, I think that this is the blue states. They're waiting to see. And the reason I say that is I'm seeing, like a lot of the blue here. Waiting for the federal government. It's like the federal government, I'm going to see as red since that's MAGA, has got a hold of them. And, but I'm feeling like the blue states always willingly, pay that money into the federal government. But now this is telling me like the federal government is not utilizing those resources wisely. And the Tower card. And very quickly. Let me see what the very quickly is. Holding on, political and also monetary, financial security, stability. The fortress here is what kind of stands out to me. How can we fortify our states to withstand the shit hitting the fan? And the Page of Cups. Okay. This is really great. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Okay, 8 of Pentacles. Okay, with these cards here, I think that it's going to probably be the blue states that initiate this, and it's like Pam Bondi says something, does something, and their response is, okay, well, we have to think about ourselves. We have to fortify our state, our cities. We have to do what's best for us because the federal government is being reckless. And I mean, this militarization is going to blow up in their face in the Trump administration's face, in this rogue administration. This is going to blow up in their face, actually quite quickly. And what helps this blow up even more quickly is when these blue states say, you keep doing this, we are not going to pay. We're not going to give you money for you to do this to our cities and our states. And that's the message. This is a message of cups, happiness, love. This has always been my yes card traditionally. So with this, the message is we have to take care of our cities. We have to take care of our citizens. And then that 8 of Pentacles is the money that our citizens have worked for, and that we want this to be in our states, our cities, in order to take care of our citizens. That's the feeling I'm getting from this. So, yeah, what will happen then? I have a feeling this tower card. Let me ask about this tower card. A little bit more insight into the tower card here. Okay, and with the tower card, a little bit more insight with that. This is feeling left out in the cold. This is one of, I mean, these people are literally, you know, they're literally begging for pennies. In the regular, I'm just looking at this. Yeah, so here, they're even inside, in this deck, they're inside the castle, but yet they're out here on the streets having to beg. So even though, like, the government is supposed to be, you know, taking care of the people, they're not, and these tariffs are killing us right now. And, you know, people are angry, and this is not, it's like, whenever this whole, you know, regime thing started, people were saying, oh, it's going to be a civil war. And I kept saying, no, it's going to be like, you know, French Revolution. Do you hear the people sing? And then whenever the military, the army choir saying, do you hear the people sing? That's what's getting ready to happen is this, do you hear the people sing moment. People have about had it with this administration. And yeah, we got to take care of our citizens. I think that the blue states actually are going to do this. And the Knight of Swords. This is in other decks. Remember, this is the one of somebody just racing off into battle, not even thinking about what they're doing. So that, I mean, this is going to be pretty rash action. This is going to be pretty harsh action if they don't pay that money in. And I don't know, like, is that a monthly thing? Is it a quarterly thing? I don't even know how that works. So this is, I think the blue states are going to be saying, no, we're not doing this. We're taking care of our citizens. Since the federal government isn't doing their job, we're going to do the job for them, for our citizens. That's what the feeling is I get with that. So what's the repercussions? Here's the Judgment card, the People Uprise. So the repercussions of the blue states not paying taxes. 5 of Swords, winning at all costs. But this is like, what have you really won? 5 of Cups, a lot of disappointment. And 3 of Swords, the betrayal. Okay, and then the People Uprise. What I'm feeling with these 3 cards is the blue states actually don't want to do this. They really don't. And I'm getting this feeling of like our hand has been forced. We've been forced to do this because of the betrayal of the federal government. And if you look here, it's almost like these people were talking in talks, and this person is looking over here and this person's looking away. So it's like somebody's left the table, left the negotiations, and just the betrayal of the whole thing. With, okay. The other thing I'm noticing in these is, here is, the storm is getting ready to brew with the actions that they're taking. They're going to take these actions. And then this is, the storm is brewing. The storm is here. And it's disappointment. In the other decks, it shows there would be like 3 cups here turned over and then 2 upright. So there's hope. There's always hope in this card. And then, but the disappointment in the betrayal. And then here you've got the rain. The cleansing rain. I'm going to see this as cleansing rain that comes out of that. So, because they're going to show us who they are. Like they haven't already been showing us who they are. So, yeah, with this, let me just, and then the People Uprise. And I got the Tower card with this. And remember, all roads lead to the Tower card because the People Uprise. And Chicago looks like they've got it going on. Okay, they really do. I am surprised. I didn't think that they would be militarized. I don't think it's going to last very long because I think the people are not going to. It is not oh geez, that's all wonky. It is not in the DNA of the American people to be ruled by a wannabe dictator, okay? And to have our cities militarized. It's not in the DNA of the American people. And now you have, like, they can't even get grand jury indictments there in DC. So, I was thinking about that. It's like, we all have a part to play in the resistance, whatever that is. Resistance comes in many forms. Here we laugh. I unpack the news. Hopefully, easing minds a little bit, or at least preparing you for like what the possibilities are. So like this right here, there's a real possibility that those blue states are not going to pay. That they're going to do this soft secession in response to whatever nonsense is coming out of the White House, and that's going to hurt red states. I live in a red state. I'm very aware of that. So knowing that, and like, how can I prepare? And then and I still think that whenever, it's like when the shit hits the fan and the people uprise, this administration, like, just kind of, I always say, it disintegrates. It's like cotton candy in water. I mean, granted, we're left with a sticky mess that we have to clean up, but that's okay. Hard work is good work. And with this, it's like if this happens, and then the Epstein files, and then his health, and then you just see it just keeps layering on and on and on. So it's not any one thing. This is one piece in that, of this administration, not lasting. So thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. We're going to keep these two cards in mind of do you hear the people sing when the shit hits the fan? So thank you very much. I'll put another reading up here for you to check out. Like, subscribe, all that great stuff, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a good day.